History is all around us, and that is doubly true here at Canterbury Christ Church University. When you come here, you don't just study history, you see it, you feel it, you experience it. And that is broadly true of how history functions in the world, where you can see its effects on everything from our music to advertising, from the way cities are organized to the vast tidal push and pull of global politics and economics. History is foundational, it's fundamental. It is the stuff on which other subjects are built. And here at Christ Church, we will give you a foundation, not just to build a career, but to build a pathway through life, to understand the complexities, not just of past cultures, but our present too.
What I was looking forward to when I first applied to the course was there's a really wide variety of modules that are offered. I know a lot of other universities, they focus more on medieval history or early modern history, but in your third year, if you want to keep it broad, you can do anything from the modern Black freedom movement to Vikings and the Norman invasion and all that. So it's a really wide breadth of things that you can study if you're interested in it.
History's always been a very, very significant passion of mine. It's always been something I've loved learning about and loved learning about people and how their decisions impact generations and generations after them without them even knowing. And the history course at Canterbury just really stood out to me with the significance of the lecturers. They all seemed really lovely and down to earth when I came to meet them. So once I came to visit, I was pretty much signed up already.
When I first visited Canterbury, I suppose I immediately fell in love with just the aesthetics of it. The look with the cathedral and all the oldie-worldy sort of buildings and the cobblestones, and it just felt like I could be home here. In the cathedral as well, we have access to the archives, which was a really interesting experience. As part of a medieval module, we got to look at all these different types of documents and pieces of primary sources dating from well into the early medieval period, and it was just so interesting to see how well preserved and that the students can use these as well in their studies. It just enhances our work and our knowledge as well.
A lot of what we talk about in our classes, you can walk around anywhere on the street and recognize a name that you heard in a lecture or see that there's a plaque somewhere that mentions that a person visited there. So you can really tell that it's a relational history to where you're studying and what you're learning about.
What I've loved specifically about the course is how it's expanded into areas of history I didn't think I was interested in. I'm a modern historian, but I took a module this year about the early modern scenarios and specifically studying mental health and how that was treated and how that was respected in early modern Europe, and then comparing that to obviously how it is in the modern scene. And looking into that was so interesting, and I never would have done it if I hadn't considered widening my horizons like that.
We've had students go into all sorts of industries and careers after studying history with us. They've worked in local government, they've worked in advertising and marketing, they've become data scientists or project managers. They have worked in the heritage sector too. Many of them go on to further study, taught masters, PhDs. The sky really is the limit. One of the things that history prepares you for best is almost anything else. In other words, you get a ton of transferable skills from doing history. You learn how to persuade, argue, analyze complex evidence and data, and look for the gaps inside that information. You learn how to be careful with information, what it does and doesn't say, how it can lie, or how it can reveal surprising truths. History truly is preparation for the complex world we live in, and that's the way we teach it here at Canterbury Christ Church.